Um, Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here, taking your time, and like I really appreciate you. Time is very important to everybody, and I'm happy you were to spend a few minutes with us. Well, a few
Yeah,
moments.
it's actually a nice break today. I've been working on so much stuff this last couple of days, and I've been on this damn computer all day in the heat and answering emails and stuff. So it's cool to just step away from it.
Yeah, I won't. I'll try not. I'll try not to ask too many questions that peel the that look behind the curtain. But I
I'm
do
an
want to.
open book, man. Ask me whatever you want. I don't care. I'll let you know if
Okay.
I don't want to answer it, but you can ask.
Yeah, just say no comment, or like you'll kill me in my you'll kill me, you'll track me down and like end my life or something. If this goes on YouTube, I have to censor like unalive. That still makes me laugh, unalive. But well, I know I just saw your film like I saw your film all late on the day, sorry. But it's just like there's like so much not that I'm just get lazy sometimes, it's hard. But I did see your film right now before I called on today.
All right,
And
cool.
and it was very good. I liked it. It's just like the
Seven
only
Up wants
seven
to
up
sponsor me. This is my new addiction.
like Jim
Zero
Cornette.
sugar. So if you want to be sponsored, anybody out there with Seven Up, I'll be your spokes guy.
Jim Cornette does the same thing too. I'm drinking my 7 Up Zero.
His stuff is really, it's like fucking crack. I swear.
Really?
Well, I'm glad you liked it, man. We worked really hard on Butchers Bluff, and it was shot 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I'm a better filmmaker than I was then, but I'm really proud of what we did there, especially with what we had, the limited crew and the small budget, and it took us 2 years to make that thing. So
I like the homages to some of I don't know if they were
well,
if
oh, they're
well
definitely
there was
intentional.
like a lot of them, but like the one that I liked that I was kind of bummed that wasn't in the complete film was the eye poke through the branch, because as soon as I saw that, I'm thinking
Mm.
like, oh, Lucio Fulci zombie, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like, oh, where's that gonna be in the film? Like, where's it? And
You
then it's
can't
like,
fit
oh,
them
it was
all
just
in, man. Yeah, I
yeah.
tried. Yeah.
Because I
So I
saw
put a lot of them in there, man. We were thinking like as much as I could come up with and fit in the movie that didn't, overdo it. Some of the
yeah.
critics, you can't please everybody. I've been pissed on by a few critics about, oh, he's just ripping off other movies. This is more of a fan film, and I'm like, no, it's not a fucking fan. It's it's
I,
tribute.
Yeah, it's a tribute. Just it's how did Tenacious D say it? It's not it's a yeah tribute. I don't know.
Not the
Um,
greatest song in the world. It's just a
yeah,
tribute.
it's tribute. Yeah, but no, like it was really good. I especially like the the when Bobby got killed. I was just like, oh wow, I like that one. I like that one more than the stab in the dick. I don't know why
Well,
about that.
stabbing the dick was pretty funny. He had it coming, so
Yeah, he did. But I couldn't. I must have blinked and missed it because I did not see Jeremy London. But I did notice.
He's in the
But I did see
beginning. He's in the whole
beginning.
first 7 minutes of the movie. Is Jeremy?
I didn't recognize him.
Well, he's in his 50s now, man. Y'all
Well,
remember
no,
him in
yeah,
Mallrats?
like I just
He was like 22, 23 years old in Mallrats. So
yeah,
he's a
Mallrats and
more mature man now. But he
yeah,
was funny. He owned that role, man. Yeah, I loved it. As most people dig it, what he did for that role. He
and he
really
got
brought.
Brinky Stevens in there too, so that was awesome.
Yeah, she was one of the first people I cast. Bill Johnson was the first, and then Brink was the second. That I wanted to fit her in somewhere in there because Summer Party Massacre is one of those movies as a young boy. You're watching the shower scene and you become a man. So it's like I told her
No,
that she's great. Brink loves it. So.
I loved her in Teenage Exorcism. I don't know if it's on Tubi. That's where I saw it, but like it has that geeky character from Grease, and he was the
Oh
voice of
yeah.
Dexter's enemy, Mandark. He was in
Mm-hmm.
that film with her, but it was just like Rinky Stevens, like, oh wow, Teenage Exorcism, and then we have oh god, I forgot the Barryman, that guy from Hills Have Ice, the Pinhead guy. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. I know his last name's Barryman, but I forgot the first name. But
Barryman.
yeah, yeah, it's the from the Hills Have Eyes.
Yes, Michael
or
Berryman. Yeah.
Michael. Yeah, see, I was half right. I knew so. But so like when we were talking in Houston on the last day, like you had mentioned, um you were going in, would have gone into wrestling, and you were a trucker, and you were delivered, huh?
Yeah, I
Not
wasn't a
trucker.
trucker. No, you got
Oh,
me. That got me messed up with someone else.
oh, well, it's because you said you came down to here, my town of Laredo, and you would go across for something. I
Oh
won't get
no, I
into
went
that
across for
story.
my contacts. Yeah, I would go across and get contacts because I didn't like getting my eye exams every year. It was a hell of a lot cheaper just
Oh,
to go
that's
across,
right.
to Nuevo Laredo, go
Yeah,
grab me some my contacts and any type of other pharmaceutical things I could get across.
yeah. I won't repeat that story, but that was a funny one that I told
Yeah.
my I told some of my close friends about that, and they were like, "What the fuck? That's genius."
Yep.
But so like between okay, so between the coming down to contacts and like where did you start going into the film industry or the stunt work?
Well, guys, it goes all the way back to when I was a teenager. I mean, I was a musician first,
Yes.
and I was playing in bands, and I always had these love for movies. I had a really active imagination. I would play out shit in my head. And this guy was working at a video store, and I used to go in there all the time, and he read scripts, and he was one back then. They was like you had to get through like 3 readers to get to this next level. They had to like rate you, and you made a certain amount. Whatever. He was a reader, and he was telling me about the script he was reading. He let me look at it, and I was like, "Well, I have an idea for a movie." And he showed me how, basically explained it in like 15 minutes how to format a script. He said you should write one, so I wrote one when I was about 18. It was
Cool.
terrible. It was
Oh.
terrible, but I wrote it, and I started having this idea like, "Hey, I want to make movies." But then I took this crash course, and it was very disheartening because I lived in a small town, and they're talking about, "Oh, you need, under $5 million and do this, and you get this not many." They were just really discouraging me. So I thought there's no way I could make a movie out here. It's just there's too much money involved, and I'm gonna just keep pounding away with music. And then I came to Austin. I'm from Marble Falls, Texas, a little small town outside of Austin, and came to Austin, got in bands, and I was trying to keep them going, and none of them were working. And the opportunity came on to be on Machete, and I was working at the Titty Bar. I was a DJ at a strip club, and yeah, the location scout from Machete came in there looking for strippers and like big guys to be intimidating guys to be in there. So I showed up, and the casting guy told, "Oh, dude, you're perfect." So I was in right away. Um,
Nice.
so I got into Machete, and I was 3 days on the set there. They cut all my scenes out, which was kind of disheartening because we worked on a fight scene with these guys for 3 days. I beat these 3 guys up in the last scene where the day laborers fight the militiamen. I was one of the militia guys, and so I was in the theater and saw I wasn't in the movie. So fuck. So that was my first taste of sometimes you get cut out.
Yeah.
And then I went and got I decided, well, I want to do this movie thing. And I auditioned for another movie where the character was uh a 18-year-old, 19-year-old urban kid, is what they said. So I did not fit the role, but I showed up, and I went and I changed all the dialogue because they had a lot of urban slang in there, and I took all the urban slang out, reworded it, did it to where it would fit me, and I went in there as a biker with a bandana on and like all the leather jacket and everything, and walked in there, and I told the casting guys, "I'm scared that any one of those kids out in that waiting room right now. I rewrote this. I know I don't fit the part, but I hope you'll let me do it." And they said, "Yeah, let's see what you got." I said it, and they said they loved it. Asked me if I could remember if I would write that down when I wrote, and I said sure. And they called me back like 3 times, and I got that role. And that was my first speaking role,
Nice.
and yeah, it was pretty fun. I thought I got the bug, and then I got an agent. The agent offered me a gig, and he was not getting me any gigs because he basically was saying they're few and far between. As an actor, I wasn't getting any gigs that I liked, so I decided, hey, I know how to write scripts, so I'm going to write my own movie. So I wrote my own movie called John, and I produced it, made it for $4,000 for the 3-man crew. Didn't really know what I was doing, but it turned out pretty good. It got into several film festivals, and I did press some on DVD and sold a few at Texas Frightmare and a couple other places. But I didn't have release forms, and I went, I shot at Gorilla. Like we would go in bars and just film, and then I would dub the
Yeah.
audio later. So the audio was clean because it was all recorded in my living room. But I was, by the time it got to where anyone could see it, I was already a better filmmaker, and I was embarrassed of it. So I kind of like try to bury that film now. But it's where I came from. It was my film
Yeah.
school. I just did it, and that was
But
probably around 2009.
but do you like you still feel embarrassed by it, or
By
has it like
John, I mean, we all have to start from somewhere.
yeah,
And I'm pretty proud of where I started from,
okay,
because it is a coherent movie.
yeah,
The acting is not horrible. The cinematography is not too bad. It's not great, but it's for a first film, it's not too bad.
yeah.
The sound's not too bad. The music's really good. I had a really good composer. He did some really cool music on it, and like I said, I mean, all in all, if I had to put my first movie against some of the other guys who have
Mm.
turned out to be like great filmmakers, it's not the worst. Not
Yeah.
the best, but not the worst.
Yeah, because I know that when I started doing the podcast 6 years ago, I know my first few episodes, like everything was sort of like cheap, that I could find on Amazon and stuff. But I did like a lot of research and look, I use Audacity. I still use Audacity right now. So, but
Hey,
like,
it's free. It's got a
it's
it's got a good noise reduction on it.
yes, it does. So it's like the audio is good as it can be for beginning, but I know some of my friends and coworkers saying that the audio has like sounded more different now after years later that I upgraded some of my equipment and stuff. So I don't me myself I don't feel too embarrassed because I'm still proud that like, I feel good that I kept on doing it and I never stopped. I just kept on going. And my point being is that you kept on going, like after that film you kept on going to make more films until you got to Butcher's Bluff. How many before you got to Butcher's Bluff, like how many films do you think you've done or
I did a
scripts
lot
you
of
wrote?
I did a lot of shorts. Oh, scripts I couldn't even tell you. I've got about 20 scripts.
Oh,
I've written a lot. So because it's free. But
yeah,
films after John, we honestly, I did Caught My Eye, which is what eventually turned into Goldilocks.
yeah.
But Goldilocks didn't exist, and we'll talk about Goldilocks not in the form that he is now. But I did Caught My Eye, but our actress got cancer, had to go back to Wisconsin, and she eventually passed away.
Oh,
So
I'm
that movie
sorry.
was never, yeah, that movie was never completed. Um, but it did have a beginning, middle, and end. And we did go ahead and put it in like 2 or 3 festivals as it was, even though it wasn't complete. It did have a beginning, middle, and end, and it was pretty creepy still. And it did okay. Actually, won a Best Directors Award for short films for it, which was kind of
Nice.
kind of surprising. Uh, but it got shelved after that, and then I just did a couple of 48-hour film things, which are a joke. They're a good way to learn how to make films because you're kind of like have to make it in 48 hours, and they give you a
Right.
prop and they give you a character you got to do. So it's a good exercise in filmmaking. I did a zombie film, proof of concept. I was really trying to get this zombie film off. I wrote it after my brother died. I just didn't want to deal with that shit, so I sat in front of the computer for about 4 days and busted out this first draft of this epic zombie thing. And this is really before The Walking Dead had really taken off. I
Yeah.
believe I believe it was just season 2 was up when I wrote it, and you know, zombies were just getting played out. But that short won like 30 film festivals. We screened it at a Walking Dead convention and got praise. Every time I make up zombies, I do special effects, well, makeup for zombies. That's really the one thing I'm good at. Really good at doing zombies.
Sweet.
Um, yeah, so I would make zombies up and take them to the conventions with me, and so we got a lot of attention. But again, it was played out, so we shelved the zombie idea, and that's when Butcher's Bluff came around. I mean, between then I wrote like co-wrote a western with Renfield, who helped me co-write Butcher's Bluff.
Yeah.
We wrote the Western first, and we won a platinum award at the World Fest in Houston for the best period piece script. It's like basically the Punisher set during the Civil War era,
Cool.
which is pretty sick. And so we did really well with that. So then we wrote Butchers Bluff, and Butchers Bluff actually was formed from an earlier idea that I had called the hazing, and it was about a fat kid that was bullied, and basically he kills all of his bullies and stuff as they got older. That was the original idea, which was nothing original about it. But there was nothing original about Butcher's Bluff either. So I wasn't trying to be original. I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel, you know.
Yeah.
But again, like Goldielocks, it all evolves. Like the Hogman didn't exist in the first version of Butcher's Bluff. When again it was the hazing, and then I took the hazing and another script that I wrote that didn't have the Hogman in it. It was about something else, but it had the same character. All the characters in Butcher's Bluff were in that script.
Okay.
And so I gave that script because me and Renfield spent about 6 months trying to come up with this backstory. Like we came up with the Hogman together, and we had this idea, and we were building on it, and we were basically starting it as him being a kid and kind of showing what happened to him. And I really didn't want to work with kids, man. They're a pain in the ass. So
Yeah.
uh,
That's one thing they say about directing. It's
yeah,
like, well, the unwritten rules like don't work with
yeah,
kids or animals.
kids are animals. And so as I had that script, but I came across it, and I told Renfield, I was like, here's a fucking outline. Let's just build the story off this outline. It's already got the characters. We've got a beginning, a middle, and end. Let's just insert the Hogman, and then we would talk and little things like this, the backstory we had already came up with. We inserted it in. The beginning scenes with Jeremy London was basically in one of the 48-hour film things we did. And I just fucking basically told him what it was. And he wrote the first draft of it. And I went back and I touched it up, added a few things. And so the script just started falling together really quickly. And that was 2017. And
Mm.
we spent about a year writing the script. And then I spent about another year and a half trying to get money for it. And eventually went on Indiegogo, and were able to raise the money through Indiegogo through the fans. The fans
Yeah.
basically came out in force, and a lot of that had to do with me putting that costume on and going to conventions and giving people free posters and posing in pictures and walking around and handing out flyers. And that's how I got Paul Taylor involved. Paul Taylor was Pinhead in Hellraiser Judgment.
Yes, I
Yeah,
saw that when I was looking at the cast on the IMDb. I was like, hey, this guy was Pinhead
yeah,
in One
yeah,
Judgment. So it's like, wow.
yeah. He was at Texas Frightmare. And quite frankly, I mean, to be honest, I wasn't going to even talk to him because I had no desire to see a Pinhead that wasn't Doug Bradley.
Yeah,
But
I get you.
me and my daughter went to go because she really likes Hellraiser, and we went, and I'd met Doug several times, and I took her to meet Doug, and he looked at me like with this just subtle look. He goes, "Have you met Paul yet?" I'm just like, "No, not yet." He goes, "Go say hello to him. He needs someone to say. He did a brilliant job." I'm like, "Whoa!" And it's like, "Okay, I'll go say hi to him." And then I talk to uh Vance, the chatter guy. I can't remember his first name. He was there, and the chick, all the Cenobites were there. And so as I was taking my daughter to meet all of them, they all kept saying, "You should go say hi to Paul." So they were being really supportive of Mr. Awesome. Well, fuck, if they're gonna say he's a good guy, I'll go say hi to him. So we
Yeah.
started talking, and he told me he was living out in Dallas. So I'm like, well, shit. I was like, do you do independent film? He goes, yeah. So I showed him the flyer for Butcher's Bluff, and I told him I had this role. I have a sheriff, and I think that'd be something cool. If you ever done it, because I've never been a sheriff. Yeah, let me read it. And yeah, he read it, and within a couple of days, he was calling me like, "Hey, man, if you want me, I'm in."
That's cool. And I forgot I lost my train of thought what I was gonna ask about now. Yes, okay, so how long before you were behind the table at conventions?
Well, again, I did it in my first film, John.
Yeah,
I knew that the only way to really make money when your film, especially one that wasn't going to get distributed, was to try to sell it to the fans. So
right.
uh, I bought a table right away.
Oh,
So
okay.
I've been doing it for a long time. But then, I did it for John, and then I did it for 1 year, and then I didn't do it for a couple of years, and then my Among the Dead, my zombie film, we did it 1 year, um, maybe 2 years at different cons. Over 2 years, we had tables, and then with Butchers Bluff, I started doing it all the time, even before the movie was out, because I knew I had to create a buzz,
Yeah.
had to get people talking about it, and so I did conventions for over 3 years, almost 4 years before the movie.
Okay. Yeah, because that was because when I was there in Houston and I was talking to I was talking to like a lot of people. Well, not a lot of people, maybe five, you included. But but it's just that like I just got me thinking that like, hey, like you all before you were behind the table, you all were in front of the table. Like, how does
For
it feel
sure.
to how does it like, like how different is that? Like just
You
like the
don't want to go
feeling that
back, man. I
yeah,
honestly can't see going to a con without being at a table, just because, for
yeah,
one, it's a home base.
right.
Two, you're making money, not spending it,
Sure.
and three, just the respect. Not just being treated like cattle coming through.
Yeah,
You're
that is
yeah,
true.
there's something to it. If I'm not part of the show, I'm probably not going. And if I am going, I'm going for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Like, it would be like, okay, I got to go talk to this person, and I'll talk to them and get the information, and then I'm out. I'll walk through one time and I'm leaving. Back before I was doing the tables, like I would go to Frightmare every year. I've been to every Frightmare since it started. I didn't go to the
Nice.
first, except for the first year. I didn't go to the first year. But two, and then with the 2020 year, when they did the COVID year, I didn't go to that one either. So okay, two out of the every Frightmare that they've had, I've been to everyone, and 90% of those I was a fan. Uh, so I would be there all 3 days, just walking around, talking to people, and just looking at stuff and watching the panels. So it is a lot of that is one thing I do miss, being in
Yeah.
being on the behind the table. I don't get to see the panels, and I really enjoyed the panels. Like, I mean, it's kind of sad to say this, but I was at Texas Frightmare, and Meatloaf fell off the damn stage and fucked himself up because
Oh,
he was acting like a madman, and then he died like a couple of months later. It's like,
I'm
wow.
I'm still bummed about that. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I I grew. Well, I got into him like when Bat Out of Hell 2 came out, and then I just like started going like through all the back catalog of his stuff, and
yeah.
I just seriously like one day I'm gonna meet a girl so we could duet. I do anything and
I've
read them
done
in a
that at
week.
karaoke, man.
No,
I was at a karaoke bar, and this chick came up like, "Will you sing Meatloaf with me?" And I'm just like, the girl has like only like one part in the whole damn song. It's just gonna be me singing. She's like, I don't care. I'm like, okay.
no, but have you seen any clips of the musical in London? Because
I
in the
have not.
musical they changed some of the songs to duets. So
Okay,
now the girl has more lines to sing. And it's
cool.
so cool. And I'm going down this rabbit hole of Meatloaf, so like be warned. But still, dude, it's like there's so many songs that were like this only like him singing now in this musical that was blessed by him. And Jen Steinman rewrote the songs to change them more to duets. It's like they totally like made it well, they made it was already better. It was already good as it was, but now it got a little bit more better because now you could do the duets with like It's All Coming Back for Read 'Em and Weep and I Do Anything and yeah, what's it called? It Just Won't Quit and for crying out loud and yeah, I'm so excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Um
Well, it was sad because, like, again, Meatloaf came out. He was not on stage for 2 minutes before he fell off because he was all pumped up. He's like, yeah, and like
yeah.
pumping up the crowd to like do his Q&A and everything. And there was no guardrail on the back, and he lost his footing and fell off. And we thought it felt like a Chris Farley gag.
Yeah.
And then we just hear him on the microphone. He goes, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, I'm actually really hurt." So he's like, "I love you guys, and we're gonna have to do this another time." And yeah,
Yeah.
but the next day, believe that they had fucking guardrails up.
They should have had that sooner. Like he would still be with us
Yeah,
probably a few more years, man. Like,
yeah, yeah.
oh man, like I'm just I'm sorry. Like still like all this that was a big influence on me in my early teens. So like it was Meatloaf, Guns N' Roses, like yeah, that was kind of like my breakaway. I didn't really get into the Nirvana thing till no, I'm not really that into it, but still like
Yeah.
it
Well,
was
I
like
was called Meatloaf in high school. I've had I've had this hair and been this size since I was in the ninth grade. So
no, my friend, my best friend, her ex, because I met my best friend in college, and her ex would go there just to chill, like, because they were still remain good friends. But he was a big guy and he had like the long ass metal hair. And if he would let it go, if he would like, take off the ponytail, he would look like Meatloaf. And sometimes he would say, yeah, take off the thing and look like Meatloaf. And it was just, yeah, and the funny thing is, like, bumped into him a few months ago. It's like, it's like, hey, and he still has the long hair, man. Metal for life.
I've had this since I was in the ninth grade, man.
Oh, wow.
I had longer. I had a mullet before that, so I've had long hair since I was 12.
Oh, you had an achy breaking
I did.
and
I got
hockey
photos.
hair.
I got photos to prove it.
Oh my God, I love that song from the Vandals, the achy breaky. No, ape drape, achy breaky, ape drape, hockey hair. My God, there's like so many things in that song. God, I'm so this is how the show is. We go off track on a lot of things, man.
Oh, it happens, man. That's all good.
But even that guy's sister, his sister's hair was like so long too. It was like so long, like up to her thighs. So it ran in the family, dude. Like, I wonder whatever happened to her. She was cute. Anyway, that's besides the point. She was a looker. I hope he doesn't hear this. No, I don't think he does. God, that's my train of thought. See, that's why I have questions ready, just in case this
Well, it's
happens.
all right. If somebody sees I'm your guest, they're not going to click on this thing anyway because they're not going to be that interested. Like, oh, that guy, I can.
I think I saw him at a post office. Um, what horror films directors? Well, yeah, what horror films or directors or books inspires your work? I mean, like, because like I said, like I saw like influences from in your film from Lucio Fulci, obviously like Tom Savini kills and a lot of like okay, especially the part where the Hogman drags Sam back in the house. I'm like, Rob Zombie's Halloween.
That's Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh
brother.
yeah, take this Chainsaw too. Fuck, I'm so
Yep,
sorry. I'm so out of
yep.
date.
That kill comes from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I mean, my work in general, Butchers Bluff aside, Butchers Bluff was designed to look like Friday the 13th of Texas Chainsaw. That's
Yeah.
what it was designed to look like. But who I my biggest influence, so I look at as a director, is David Fincher.
Yeah.
I love his work. I love the way his cinematography looks, his lighting. It's beautiful. So um, that's a big influence on what I do. But with Butcher's Bluff, I wanted it to look like a movie that was shot in the 80s. So yeah, I was kind of following Carpenter, Toby Hooper, this, um, obviously, Cunningham, all the guys from pretty much every Friday the 13th movie. I'm a big fan of,
Yeah.
except Jason Goes to Hell. So because it doesn't have Jason in it for the
Yeah,
most
no, it
part.
really doesn't. It was just kind of a
I thought Jason that when the Jason was in there, he looked badass too. I was like, that's a fucking miss because he looked cool as hell.
yeah, and I love the concept of them saying that the mask has been on his face so long that the skin grew
Yeah,
over
grew
it.
over it. Yeah, it looked really cool. It's a cool concept. They didn't utilize it. I think that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's in Butcher's Bluff, I have direct nods to Halloween. When the kids on the front porch they take the mask off of him. That's
Yeah.
straight out of Halloween. Um, the peeling the head back comes from Hatchet. Which
I love that
I
part.
met Adam Green and I told him that, and he was like so flattered. He gave me his blessing. He's like, I love it because I love
I
it.
saw that I was gonna ask that because like the FX girl, I saw Jenna Green and I'm like thinking like is she related to Adam Green or a distant cousin? I just saw
No,
that.
no, but she was on Face Off.
Oh, badass.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I'm
The
planning.
season two, I believe. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, I'm planning to travel to SA. Well, at the time of this recording, I'm planning to travel on the Sunday to interview this I forgot his last name, but his name is Sergio. He owns the
Sergio Guerrero.
yes. He was on the
He made the Goldilocks mask.
oh badass. That's sweet. See, it all connects.
Yep. The Texas horror community is small. And
Yeah.
pretty much everybody who's involved in it kind of knows each other, at least heard of each other. But I worked on a film with Sergio. I was an actor on it. He was the effects guy, and I met him there and got his number because I saw him years ago at San Antonio doing a makeup display. I think it was right after he did Face Off,
Yeah.
and so I knew who he was, but I forgot his name. And then he was up on the set, so I was like, "Shit, I got to get this guy's info before I forget." So I got his info, and when we came down to making the mask, I just wrote him and said, "Hey man, can you make me one of these masks?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." So I actually was just been talking to him. He's making me a couple more because
Sweet.
yeah, we're doing this short film version of Goldilocks, and we're gonna need his mask to be covered in blood. So I need to have multiple masks. Yeah.
Nice, because okay, so after when I came back to town, I was because like I have some friends that do horror movie nights. Shout out to those guys, Band of Terror, Josh and Victor. And I was telling because they have two types of horror nights. They have obviously Friday the 13th, and they always do it obviously on Friday the 13th. And then they have one called Not Quite Friday the 13th, where if the Friday falls on the 12th or 14th they show like a different, a horror that's not Jason related. But I'm trying to see well I'm trying to get them to screen your movie since I have it with me. And I
Yeah,
was
awesome,
telling
dude.
them hey, like like don't go like what you told me and Daniel, don't go to Amazon to see you would have to buy it directly because they butchered it and they took off 6 minutes from it like you have to get the physical or I think you said iTunes or iPlayer,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
besides the point.
Right. Yeah. It's actually I fought to get that thing taken down off of Amazon, so it's not on there right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
So
trying to get them to like screen your film, and if they don't do it, then my plan B would try to maybe get a loan and rent out the draft house to screen your film. I don't know. I really
that
want
would
to
be nice,
show.
but that's expensive, man. But I would appreciate it.
Well, it's just there's a lot of good films out, like being going out there in the like you said, the Texas horror community and meeting like you, Sergio, Corey, Scara, and etc. It's just like I want to like introduce it here to Laredo, but it's hard,
Yeah.
because this town's very like behind the times sometimes, and it's very
Yeah.
close-minded and well, it's like that almost everywhere.
Did you
But
see Damsel of the Doom yet?
yes, I did. I was there in the screening, and
People
uh,
hate me in that one. That was a lot of fun.
that was fun too. Well, because like that was the one that's when I told you at the table, like I was paying close attention when he slammed her head on the bus or the RV, whatever. Because like you said, you
Mhm.
were protecting her, and then when we were talking at the table, you mentioned wrestling, and then the wrestling bug hit me, and then
Yeah.
we were just talking about like how they protect people, how wrestlers have to protect the other guy and stuff. So it's
Yeah.
just like those little details, I start paying close attention to, these things when it gets brought up. Yeah, when it gets in my mind, and I go down that rabbit hole, man. I love learning and I love, just like discovering things, going in layers within layers. Just like I love peeling the onion.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was they kind of made all that stuff on the spot what we were gonna do. And I basically had to tell her how to do it. I was like, look,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything. You're gonna be doing it all, and but it's going to look like I'm doing it to you. And yeah, we practiced it a few times, and she had it, and it looked like when we did it, it looked like I was really fine.
And not just that, but like I loved, and I told this to Corey after I saw the film, like I love that blue lighting he did for that scene. The way, can he said like he bought this like expensive like lighting equipment for that scene, and then also like in the cafe. But
Mm-hmm.
just that scene where like you quote unquote attack her, the lighting was so good. It was a nice like shade of blue and white, and it
It
was
was
just
I believe it was only two lights. I think you had two big blue lights out there, and then there's parking lot lights.
yeah,
So the available lights, and then the headlights, of course, from the truck that pulled up. I think
yeah,
that was it. I mean, so you can do a lot with a little, you know.
yeah. But like, dude, like that was like I really I'm gonna keep repeating myself, dude. But like I just really that lighting was so on
Mhm.
pitch perfect for me. It was great, dude, and your scenes were good. The way that like she did the stunt, and then your death at the end.
I
Somebody
insisted they had to give me more blood.
somebody at the during the Q&A pointed out that the way the mother kills the people was the way that they taunted her
Yeah,
with
it is.
so it's like I'd never caught onto that till like it was got brought up, and I'm like, oh, this shit, she's right.
Yeah, each one was their own sin pulled back on them.
Yeah, man.
That's why
But
I put the guy's eyeballs out, you know, stuck his eyeballs through there. And if you see, I did that in Butcher's Bluff. They kind of took that
yes,
skill from
I
Butcher's Bluff.
noticed that he did it a few
Yeah,
times. Well,
it was a
he
little
did
little nod there. You know,
the eye poke, and then like the neck cracking, and the like. I'm still with that whole like the zombie eyeball, dude. It's just like I see that and I'm like, oh, Lucio Felici, like well, okay, so deep dive,
we did a
like
little bit
like
of
when
we did some Argento lighting in there too, if you notice in the flashbacks. When he's telling the
yes,
story with the
yeah.
kids, we did the Argento blue and magenta
Now that
lighting.
I think about it, you're right. Yeah, especially when
Yeah.
he's killing the one kid in the
Yep.
bedroom, and like you see like the red lining with the yeah,
Yep.
you're right.
Yep. That was all
Totally missed
Argento
that.
lighting. That was done on purpose. And that's the only place time you see it.
But who do you like who do you and when it comes to gore, like at least the godfathers of gore, like there's well, in my opinion, and because like everybody has like different people, but like who do you favor more, Lucio Fulci or Herschel Gordon Lewis? And
Well, me personally, probably Gordon. It's yeah. One of my effects guys, he was his mentor, Joe Castro.
uh-huh.
So Gordon was one of his mentors. So I'm going to
Nice.
have to go there. Know him, know Joe, so know me, getting my shit done. So
Yeah, because like my friend Sarah from Austin, she was telling me about like her favorite box, who like her favorite like big wizard box was the Gore Girls from Herschel Gordon Lewis, because it depicts the eyeball getting popped out with the silhouette knife.
mm.
And when I saw that film, I'm like, wow, this is so awesome, because it's really cool, and
Yeah, and it's all
also the Wizard
practical.
of
It's what
War.
that's what they really are. When it's amazing that they were able to do a lot of those effects. I mean, to me, Savini's still going to be my top guy,
Yeah.
really, because Savini made the first one to really make effects look real. You know,
Yes.
that shotgun blast from Maniac will always be talked about. You know, that's amazing. So, I'm also though I think Craig Nicotero is a maestro as well. You know.
Yeah. My favorite, well, the of the Sabini kills, it's gotta be from the Day of the Dead when they're ripping apart. I forgot the soldier's name, but when they're ripping him apart, and then he's
Mm-hmm.
like in his dying
Someone
breath, he's
choke
just
on it.
screaming, "Yeah, choke on it,
Yeah,
choke on it."
yeah, yeah. That was pretty bad, and the fact that was real guts. Apparently
Uh,
those guts had been rotting in a refrigerator that like died, and they stunk horribly, and those zombies were putting them in their mouth, and that's dedication right there.
I'm probably gonna have to censor. I'm probably gonna have to cut this part out because but like during work one time when it was really slow, I just had Day of the Dead like on my phone, just like in between customers and stuff. I just
Day of
didn't
the
know what
Dead.
to
I'm
watch.
going to be real here. People say Dawn is the best. I like Day, man. Day's my favorite of the Romero movies.
Yeah,
It really
Day's
is.
pretty good, dude. I mean,
I
I'm
really like Day of the Dead. It's just Dawn was cool, and it really is probably the best one overall. But my favorite, just something about Day is great. I liked Bub, and It was just
I
I dig it.
have I have more memories of Day of the Dead than I do of Dawn of the Dead growing up. And it's just like some, and I guess it was probably the scene where the guy gets ripped apart. I think that's the
Mhm.
scene that stuck with me like all this time because like I know there's like a lot of damn it, rememberable scenes
Yeah,
in Dawn. Like almost got it. But growing up, I remember more scenes from Day than I do of
yeah.
Dawn.
Just that the and zombie with the tongue hanging out at the beginning. That's just grotesque.
Yeah.
And actually, what really creeped me out as a kid was when the damn hands came out of the wall, but she was having the nightmares.
Yes.
That was just like, oh, dude. And as an adult, it's like, okay, but I remember when I watched it, I was very young, and that creeped me out so much seeing those damn hands.
Yeah, man. It's just like so much like of the of growing up in the 80s, like it was Dawn that played a well no, because like I've always been into the I mean I've been into horror, but like I never was into horror. It was more my brother because my brother he was the one that was buying the Fangoria magazines
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of scaring us every time he put up the posters and stuff. And little by little, I started like edging more towards horror, but like I grew up more with like with the 80s cartoons, G.I. Joe, Thundercats,
Yeah,
He-Man, and then
who didn't?
and then I just started inching a little bit towards horror, but not really. And then comic books came into my life, and then I became well, I'm still a comic collector. I still go down that rabbit hole, but ironically me and my brother, we kind of switch hobbies because now he's in the comic book business, like buying old comics and selling them. And I'm the one that's like, doing the horror reviews and meeting the people and all this stuff. So we kind of like switch roles. So it's pretty, it's just weird, but it
That's
happens, man. Because like I'm right there telling him, hey, I'm gonna go to Houston. I might meet Linda Blair. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. So, but
Did you get through that line?
no, no, I was no, like no, I didn't even try. I I was
I knew
pretty
some
much
people that waited a long time on Sunday, but they finally got through. Yeah.
yeah, no, like I thought I was gonna spend a lot on that trip, but I didn't. And I had a few extra money, and I had a few extra dollars, and some of that extra money went to buying your DVD that you
All
autographed.
right. Well, I'm all good with that.
Shameless plug.
Hey,
Oh yeah,
I tell you,
shameless
that's
plug.
it. Watch my movie. Better yet,
Extra.
buy the DVD from me. I'm easy to
Yes.
find online.
I was gonna say that, like, well, I'll wait till we'll wait till it for me, for me wind start to wind down. But so it's, well, yeah, because if they buy it from you, you get to autograph it. So, and who better to autograph it than you? Well, you're our educator, so. What is this? Fuck, see, this is why I have this thing here. Where did Goldilocks come from?
Well, I was saying earlier, we did the a short film called Caught My Eye, and me and the actor played Goldilocks went and saw Danzig live in Austin, downtown Austin, and afterwards we were stopped at this bar across, and you had a beer, and we were just chatting, and we're like, man, I wish that we could redo Caught My Eye. I was like, but the thing was, is we said, there just needs to be more to it. It needs to be higher stakes. And then the whole idea was, what if there was a home invasion and Goldilocks is a serial killer and he's in the closet, and then the hunters become the prey,
Yeah,
and Goldilocks is worse than they are, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. So by the time we got home, I already had the idea. I came in here, wrote the first draft of the script in like 3 days, and he was birthed. But then in Caught My Eye, he would cut girls' hair off after they died, but he just kept them in a like on a shrine.
yeah,
So later on, after we had the mask, the wig came in. I said we should wear a wig. He should make a wig out of the damn hair. He has so many locks in the hair that he wears the wig, and when we put the wig on, it just totally made the character.
nice. And that's one thing I noticed at your table that you were asking some of the attendees to donate their hair for the
If they
film.
have blonde hair, he's going to ask them. He's gonna say, "I like your hair. Can I have some?"
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like, "Oh no," he's like, "Just it's just one lock." And you start talking, you could be in my wig. You don't you want to be in a horror movie? And by the time it's over, most of the time, they're like, "Oh well, I guess you can have a little small piece underneath here." And we've
'Cause-
gotten probably almost 80 locks of hair over the last year.
Nice.
Yep.
Because I was saw that well, when Daniel was gonna interview you, or what, it was probably him. It was one day, I think it was a Saturday. But yeah, like he was right there, like a girl was like braiding her hair for him to like, take a clip off
Mm-hmm.
from it. That's
Mm-hmm.
so awesome. I was telling another friend, another horror fan from here, about your film, and hopefully we'll have like a movie night to watch it with him and his family. He's hopefully they'll grow up to be horror kids. Hopefully. But yes, I was saying him about your film, and I was saying him about my ideas. And then I said, like, hey, he might be need extras for the scene for November. And sure enough, like the next day, or no, I think it was today, we posted that thing on Facebook for extras. Although his
Yeah.
girlfriend's not on, but just the extra, someone to be in the background.
Yeah. I posted that on Saturday, but today, man, I got swamped
Really?
with people wanting to be in it. Yeah, my emails get slammed. Everybody wants to be a part of it now. Because this new short is like is Goldilocks on Halloween. And it's
Yeah.
basically the whole thing, which Michael Myers kind of did, and they hinted on it a little bit in the movies that Michael would be walking around on Halloween and nobody would pay attention. They just thought he was another guy in a costume. Well, Goldilocks uses that as camouflage. He
Yeah.
walks he walks with groups of kids house to house looking for women with blonde hair. And when he sees one he likes, he goes in. He leaves the crew of trick or treaters, breaks in the house, kills the girl, and then comes back out on the street. And he's walking around with the kids again. And
Now,
so that's
is
kind of
he,
what we. Hmm?
sorry, no, is he picky about the blonde hair? Like, does it
Yeah,
have, if it has split ends, it's like, no, no way. Just
yeah.
cut it and leave
Sometimes,
it.
yeah. The thing is platinum's his favorite.
Yeah.
But sometimes if it's there and they have something special, then he'll go for it. But in this script, there's one brunette in it. He makes it clear he has no interest in brunettes, and it comes down to his mother. His mother was a blonde prostitute that beat him, and the Johns that would come over there would molest him and stuff, and while she was fucked up and passed out. So yeah, he hates his mother, and everyone that does blonde hair that reminds him of his mother becomes victims.
Wow. Yeah.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, serial killers just don't catch a chance. They really have to, some of them come with like crappy backstories.
Yeah, he's heavily influenced by the BTK killer, the real killer BTK. BTK actually has photographs of him in a blonde wig, which is where I came up with the idea for the blonde wig. He was wearing a blonde woman's wig and like a doll mask and a dress, and he took a photograph of himself. And he would
Wow.
choke himself and asphyxiate while he was masturbating and doing all this crazy stuff. He was a psychopath. And the thing about BTK is when they caught him, he confessed to everything and he went in detail about all of his crimes and all this stuff. So there's a lot of documented cases with him. Dennis Rader was his name.
Well,
Um,
speaking of masturbation into a segue, I mean, like he had a little person masturbating in the Butchers Bluff.
yep. And he didn't know that's not the script. I made him do it on set. He did not want to do it. He's like, oh man, he's like, people at my church are gonna. I was like, people at your church are not gonna see this,
He
my friend.
goes to church.
He does, yeah. Yeah. He's like, all right. I'm just because my pastor's already kind of upset about me doing this. I'm like, it's all right. They'll never see it.
I was led to temptation.
Well, I mean, our
They
main
have
girl,
those.
our final girl is very, very much a Christian. She won't cuss throughout the whole film. If you watch, she never says a curse
Wait, Nicole? Well, the
word. Yeah, her
Paige.
name's her name's Paige. Yeah,
Yes, I
she
had her.
she yeah she doesn't say a single curse word in the whole movie.
What the?
Yep, you won't tell. You can't tell. She didn't need to.
None of these people. I mean, not that I mean, I like to have a, you know, just my joke about about religion is like, oh, you joined the cult. That's my That's my slight jab at it. Because yeah, it's pretty much a cult. Just so like, it's a government funded cult. No, so the government allows that kind of cult. But still, that's besides the point. Won't go too far into it. But wow, wow.
Yeah, they're down. There's certain things that I don't have a problem with. Just do it.
That's funny because like I heard her. I was listening to the Raven Effect today. With the wrestler Raven, and he said a joke about like, oh, they were talking about some actor, and they're like, no, he's not a Christian. And then this co-host says, well, if he's not a Christian, does that make him Edge?
Because he's not Christian and the
Yeah.
tag team. Yeah, I got it.
I'm sorry, but I just found it funny.
Oh yeah, but
But yeah.
but yeah, the dwarf. He was name's Eric, and I found him because he was like at a San Antonio film festival, and he one of his films there he was playing a little demon. I saw him running around in there, and I thought, man, I'm not going to spoil anything, but about who he is in the film. But like that character was not supposed to be a dwarf; he was supposed to be a skinny, like uh, ginger kid. Kind of remind me of Malachi from Children of the Corn. When I wrote it, that's kind of who I envisioned him to look like a little skinny ginger kid.
And plus,
Then when I
gingers have no souls.
yeah, because he has no soul, right? But then I saw him, I was like, oh fuck, I can get a little guy in there to do this stuff. I mean, it'll be even more fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it's like yeah, he's like, all right. So I wrote him and I said, hey, dude, you want to do this? He's like, oh yeah, I want to do it. So like we never addressed that he's a dwarf in the film either.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
it's
it's not
just
important to the character. I didn't change anything. I didn't change anything about the character. The lines and everything that he does was exactly the same when he was a normal sized person.
except for the
So,
masturbation.
yeah, I added that in there. Well, yeah, yeah. So
Oh my God.
just so you know, people watching, we don't show it; it's insinuated.
Yeah, simulated, yeah.
Nobody wants to see that. Well, then there's probably some like, I do. I want to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, but he had to try there's sites for that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Just hit Google. So, but yeah, man, that was he was fun to work with,
Yeah,
and
I'm just so amazed he's a Christian. And
yeah,
then no, not only that, but like that he played the devil, a little demon in another film, and I'm just
hmm
like, and like, is he kind of like trying to show like this is what happens to bad people, so this is why I'm doing the Lord's work, or
yeah.
I'm gonna get this.
I think you got the psychopath Christians mistaken for the ones that are normal, sane individuals. So
Pretty
they're
much,
not
yeah.
they're not like that at all. They're not preachy at all. So yeah,
Yeah, I went to a Christian school, so like I seen.
I did as well. I went fourth, fifth grade, I believe. Yeah, fifth grade. I went to a religious school and I learned all about it. So
Yeah, it's it's not to go too down that rabbit hole, but like it's just like so amazing. But yet some of the things that like I learned later in adulthood kind of makes me question some things, and that's a big no-no. But it's just like you need to question things, or you need to wonder about stuff because it's not always in black and white.
yeah,
So
I don't talk about that publicly, but yeah, there's some things that I could say, but you know,
yeah,
all I know is not alone in this universe. And
pretty much. I could cut this part off if you want me to.
no,
Um,
I don't care, but it's one thing is that uh when I was going through cancer fucking 2 years ago
oh my God.
and I was sitting alone in that fucking hospital room, I wasn't alone. That's all I could say. And
Shit.
take that for what you fucking want to take it as. So and if I wouldn't have made it. So,
Yeah, we wouldn't be here today, and we've wow, like okay, now you gave me a reality check. So shit, man. Glad you're still here with us, though, dude. Seriously.
yeah, yeah, it was caught early. I mean, so if people see me walking around and see that I kind of wobble a little bit, I don't do that because I think it looks cool. I do that because part of my leg and my hip is of steel.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I've gotten better, but I do kind of wobble a little bit like this when I walk. And it's not because I can't help it. It's just they had to cut my hip out. The ball joint is all completely steel and about this much of the bone of the femur. And
Wow.
they cut the muscle out. They had to cut all that other shit out.
Well, now
Yeah.
I feel like a hypocrite because I'm gonna say like, I thank God you're still here, dude. Seriously,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, it was a miracle. Things happen for a reason. I was doing jujitsu and I got hurt, and I
Yeah,
walked around for like a year with this pain in my hip and going. And finally, if I wouldn't have got an MRI, I never would have known it was there, and I never would have got it removed.
yeah,
Things happen for a reason, man. And I would have
yeah,
probably I'd still be working in the strip clubs, and breathing cigarette smoke in every day and being pissed off, hating listening to popular music every day. Can't stand pop culture nowadays.
yeah.
Modern
It's so
modern modern music is trash to me, and it was making me a very mean old man. So I'm glad it got me away from there. It made me focus on being a full-time artist,
yeah.
and obviously I don't make as much money as I did when I was working there, um, but I'm happier.
And that's what it's all about, just to
Yeah,
be find
yep,
your happiness, what
yep.
live your best
Sometimes it
life.
takes going to yeah. Sometimes it takes going to the worst thing in your life to thinking that you're not going to be around, and to open that door and force you to go through it. When you're forced to
Yeah,
go through what you've never imagined you're going to have to go through. Luckily, I didn't have to do chemo. I didn't have to do any radiation. I didn't have to do any of that shit. So I was very, very lucky, you know. Um, so what I tell people is don't ignore shit. If you think
yeah,
there's something wrong with you, go get it checked out because you just never know. I obviously knew there was something, but I thought it was just a torn muscle.
yeah.
It wasn't, you know.
I was like I said, I'm glad you're still here with us, man. That's
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'm not
I
trying to be
mean,
somber here. I'm just
no,
this is
no, no. I
positive.
mean, like
This is
that's.
a
I
positive
mean,
thing.
yeah, that's
People need to.
why. On Saturday at Houston, like basically my phone was pretty much dying, and by the time the convention finished, like me, Daniel, and his crew, like we just said, oh, let's go walk to the Chili's to eat, and I was like, oh well, let me leave my phone in my room to charge because basically for those 2 hours I didn't really have my phone, and it just felt so liberating, just I was like throughout the whole convention I didn't take that many pictures. I mean, like I did take some but not a lot because I was just
Yeah,
trying to be present in the moment, just
yeah,
enjoying myself and just you know n- like pictures, there's nothing wrong with taking pictures, but it's just like I don't want to look at a picture all the time and remember, I just want to like if I want to remember it, I just want to close my eyes and relive it. Just I don't always have to look at a picture. I just, just know that I was there and I was there in the moment. I didn't need to freeze it. I just needed to just like be present.
right, right.
And it's just, yeah, man, you just gotta be present and appreciate what's around you. And I mean, it's easy to be negative, and it's easy. Yeah, it's a lot easy to be negative, but like it's like it's just like, what's the point? Just be
Mhm.
happy. Not be happy, but just, appreciate what's in front of you. Because
Yeah, I mean, there's certain filmmakers in Texas that think that I don't like them, think that I talk smack about them in their movies. I don't. And the things they've heard about me is saying shit like that's complete lie. And because again, I have a new look in life, and I don't get off on talking smack about people or judging people or criticizing. So none of that shit's true. Because again, once you face death, your whole fucking attitude changes. Life's
yeah,
too short for that shit. I focus on what I'm doing. I don't focus on what other people are doing, regardless if I think their work is good or not. I know what it takes to finish a project, and that alone has my respect.
yeah,
So there's haters in this business, and
yeah,
there's people that just misery loves company, and they have vendettas, and then they like to spread lies about you and tell other people like, "Oh, this guy said this and this," when I've never even had a conversation with this person. And so yeah, man, it's a hell of a lot more
Yeah.
productive just to be positive, focus on what you're doing, and don't. If there's enough hate in the world, man, there's no sense of spreading that shit.
Yeah, and also it's like it's that saying that goes like, you can't change other people's opinions or actions. You can only control your reaction and your actions. And just like let them, to like just not stay in your lane, but just like, be I gotta quote Doctor Who. It's like the first Doctor said, be true to yourself and like, stay true to yourself and go forth and stay true to yourself, and I will do so as I do. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. I'm a big Doctor Who fan, but still, there's like a lot of good life lessons in there that I found. But it's just just like being present and just like enjoying what's in front of you instead of worrying what's happening, in the past. What's good, because I used to be like that, dude. I was at a point where like I was so like focused on what's gonna happen next and next, and it would just drive me. Yeah, but I wasn't a good person to be around with. All that shit is gone now. I'm just more calm now. And medication helps, but still, I'm just like feel more calm.
See, I'm not on any meds either. I probably should be, but I like my creativeness, so
Yeah,
I need to keep my dark thoughts in up front so I can write them down.
yeah. No, it's like, I just like dark humor. Like a party centered this part. Have you heard of this band? Well, maybe you did, because my best friend in college introduced me to this band called Anal Cunt, or also known as AC.
Oh yeah,
I okay, I love the song titles more than the music.
that's
Any,
grindcore, man. They have hilarious names.
I mean, whenever I'm feeling down or blue, I just go online, look up some AC titles, and I just start laughing and feeling better about myself. Because that shit is so funny, man. One of my favorites is I got an office job for the sole purpose of harassing women. That's my favorite. And also, what was it? Oh, I pushed your pregnant girlfriend down the stairs. And the guy won a Grammy for hoping for like working with Pantera. He won a Grammy, and he got punched out by I forgot what band. He got punched out by somebody that was in a was it Lamb of God, or was it I forgot what metal band, because he was on stage and he was right there. Ha ha, you got kicked out of Lamb of God or some other metal band. Like that guy had no fear, but he was just funny. And it just makes me laugh. Crazy shit, man. Um, okay, let me look at the questions because now we got lost. Shit. Okay, so after the next well, after this when you complete the short film with in November with Goldilocks, what's next for you?
Well, hopefully be able to get the funding for the feature film, so we can
Hmm.
do the Goldielocks feature film, which is very different than what the short is. It's a bigger story, and it's actually going to need quite bigger budget. Um, so I'm hoping to be able to get that. But if we aren't able to get all of that budgeting, I do have a short, not another short. I mean, another feature film script ready to roll. It's kind of like I Spit on Your Grave and the Hills Have Eyes, which is
Nice.
called Red Hollow, and we can make that for a very modest budget in probably a couple of weeks. So we might jump on that one if we're not able to get the funding for Goldilocks within the next 6 months of releasing it. So it's a good chance that we jump on that film next and knock that one out while we're still trying to get the funding for the feature for Goldilocks. Because I really can't make Goldilocks for under 250,000. I need that at least. That's not a lot of money, but it is for me. Getting
Yeah.
that kind of money is rough.
And in between, like, do you really have an idea, like, for a sequel for Butcher's Bluff, like are you already working on a script or you're
I have the
working it as
outline.
you
Yeah.
yeah, okay, outline. Okay.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah, because
I outlined it pretty quickly after that that opening wasn't in the that's not the original ending.
uh-huh.
Um, I mean, where it ends is the original ending, but the whole part in the police department, I
Yeah,
added that scene in, and mostly just because I wanted to open it up. I knew by that point that was one of the last things we filmed. Um, I kind of knew at that point I wanted to have a sequel, and I had the idea for the sequel, so I went ahead and added in that police station scene and opened it up.
nice. Oh man, what's that? I can't wait for it. I just can't wait to see what happens next to Addicts, and I wonder like if Nicole will come back.
Oh, did you see
Um
the pre-credits? Did you see the credits
yeah, I
afterwards?
said I
Okay.
saw the correct because I wanted to know who sang the song. I forgot. Because like it was in the menu title, the song, and then like it was at the end credits, and I
Oh,
probably
that's
got
the Hog Trail
yes.
by Wano
Uh,
and Bulltown.
sorry, fly. Um, yes, I like that song, and I'm like, I wanna. So I stayed for the credits to see like the song, so I could like look for it later to hear it, especially during work in between the customers and when I get done with the podcast I'm hearing. I want to
So
hear that song.
they put that they put that in the menu. That song's on the menu.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. I've never looked at the DVD. I've seen my movie. I don't need to watch it again. So I don't know what's on there. I did use that song in the special features during the I cut a bunch of footage together for the behind the scenes stuff
Yeah,
to that song. So yeah, it's a good song. It's really good.
it
I'm
is that
glad they donated it. That was great.
nice. Nice, yeah, because like when I was preparing to watch it, I got yeah, like most people I got distracted by my phone, so I just kept hearing the song over and over. I'm like, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just gonna like look at the title now, the what was it called again?
Oh,
See,
Home Trail by the
yeah.
band Ghoultown.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll look it up because I really did like that song, and yeah, man, that was a good choice, dude. Great choice. I like that's all I can say. Um I'm out of questions, dudes. Thank you so much. Do you have any where can people find you on the social area?
Oh, it's William R. Instone on Facebook and Instagram are my main pages. I don't post on Instagram as much as Facebook, but I do post some stuff on there. Then of course there's the official Butchers Bluff fan page and the Goldielocks group. And I'm also now got the I Like Your Hair page because that's the name of the new short. It's called I Like Your Hair, which is just again, it's one of the Chronicles of Goldilocks. It's one of the little offshoots.
And
Um,
if people want to buy your DVD, aside from meeting you at the conventions, like, how can they get it on, well, how could they buy the physical copy? Yeah.
I mean, you can buy it from Amazon, but if you wanted to get it for me, I'll sign them to buy them for me. You can just contact me on Facebook Messenger.
Nice.
I reply to all the messages. I'm easy to get in touch with.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I didn't know if you were gonna reply, when I sent you the DM. Also, I didn't know if you're gonna remember me, but I
Yeah,
just
that's
took
the
a
thing is
chance.
I'm just some dude, man. So like I reply to everybody. Yeah, I want to be. I don't ever want to be one of those guys that thinks I'm too cool to fucking talk to anybody. I'm just a fan like everybody else. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm honored that anybody wants to even talk to me.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Before we go, I gotta ask this question because this is something that I'm going to build upon in a long-term episode. But okay, when it comes to Freddy versus Jason, um, are you more just seeing the characters Freddy versus Jason, or do you want Kane versus Robert? Because, and I bring this up because I saw an interview, I think it was on the Talks from the Crypt about how he didn't they passed over him for the Freddy versus Jason film, and
Yep,
it's a
I saw
sour
that episode.
it's a sour point for him, but it kind of got me thinking like what do fans want? Like, like, do they want Freddy versus Jason, or do they want
I think
Kane versus Robert?
they wanted Kane versus Robert because Kane was Jason.
Yeah,
At that point, he was Jason. He's the only one to play him more than once.
yeah,
He owned the character. He basically made him, and Freddy obviously is Robert. So
yeah.
that's what it worked out. Ken's a super nice guy. I've met Ken a couple of times. Last year at Houston Horror, I sat at his table for a while. We talked like for a long time. I told him what I would make a fucking Jason fan film with him because he was actually talking about wanting to do what he had an idea for a Jason fan film. I was like, shit, I'd shoot that for you. I'd fly to Canada and do it if he wants to do it. So, uh, super nice guy.
Yeah,
Kane's Jason.
nice. Yeah,
Even though my favorite Friday film is Part Six. So C.J. Graham was actually Jason in my
that's
favorite.
Daniel's favorite film. We're gonna do an episode about discussing that in the future.
Jason
Jason
Lives,
Lives.
that,
That's the
and
one that I grew up with. I think that was like
yeah,
the first Jason. Well, yeah, I think that was like the first Jason film my parents let me see because it didn't have that much. Well, it didn't have nudity, so
it had no nudity in it.
yeah, none, none at
It
all.
had Darcy DeMoss in it, and she was hot as hell. I was like, oh my gosh, she's fitting to get naked, damn it.
And and
So
also
yeah,
that's where I learned the phrase, wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
you bang, yeah. And there was a lot of like in that movie they had like Karloff's garage as a nod to Boris Karloff, and
Oh,
so I actually put a teacher in Butchers Bluff when they're talking about the professor as a Professor Hooper, which is a nod to Toby Hooper. So
nice.
I did the same thing. That I got that from Part Six, but yeah. So I'll always Part Two and Part Six, and then Part Five. Believe it or not, I have a crazy list. Those are my favorites.
I like part five too. I mean,
Yeah,
like I
the best kills, and it was just even though it wasn't Jason, it was still really cool.
it was cool. I mean, like it's just, I mean, my opinion, it's just like it's sometimes when they think outside the box, it's good. Yeah, at the time, and some people still, aren't for it, but it was it was a good idea, a good concept, but people wanted Jason, not someone pretending to be Jason.
Right,
I mean, I don't, I guess because since Jason's such an icon, like, then when no one can, everybody just wants Jason to be the actual Jason, not someone to
right.
pretend Jason, but yet they're okay with somebody else being underneath the Ghostface mask. So, people, who knows?
Apples and oranges. The Ghostface isn't in the same league as Jason. So
Yeah, I mean, anybody can be Ghostface, but only Jason can be Jason. Except Kane Hodder. Gotta throw that in there. Gotta bring it back to Kane.
yep.
Oh man, this was so much fun, dude. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate your time and I really appreciate you being on the show. So
Right on,
thank you
man.
so much, man. Yeah, I'm gonna say thank you so much, dude. But yeah, thank you, man.
All right, man. Thanks for having me. You have a good night.
You too, man. You take care of yourself. Be safe, and I'll see you at the next convention.
Right on, man. Later.
Laters.